Hello my favorite pirates, and welcome to this video where I show you how to build the Bloody Sailor, which is a build that I posted on Discord a few days ago, and it seemed like quite a few people were interested in a video like this. Now, it has to be mentioned that this build exactly isn't a very survival friendly one, meaning that it will cost a lot of materials, and I do have other boats that cost less materials. So if you want to see a tutorial for those boats, be sure to let me know down in the comments. But without further ado, here are the materials needed. You will need 24 sails, 5 flags, 5 pipes, 217 solid half wooden walls, 36 triangular solid wooden walls, 192 solid wooden floor, 16 triangular solid wooden floor, 58 solid foundation, 8 triangular solid foundation, 14 solid half stairs, and 4 solid stairs, 70 solid wooden fence, 28 solid half wooden windows, 46 solid wooden roof, 3 solid wooden door, and lamps and zip lines. This will cost you at least 3057 planks, 152 scrap, and 190 plastic. Okay, so you're finally ready to build your raft. You've gathered all the planks, all the plastic, and all the scrap you need, and you can start building. Now, the first thing you want to do is maybe get a little bit away from your base that you use to collect all the resources. What you actually can do is, as long as the raft is more than 2 pieces of foundation, it actually counts as part of your raft. So you can destroy all of this, and you can still have this foundation over here. So what you can first do is you have a middle point like this, and you want to go 3 to that side and 3 to the other side. Just like that. Now from this point, this will be the front, and this will be the rear. So on both sides, let's go 1 in, and in the front, let's go 1, 2, 3 forward, and in the back, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 that direction. So for ease of perspective, I'm going to do the exact same from a middle point on the other side. So from right here, let's go 3 to both sides. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Now we wanted to go 3 more. After first building this, we want to go 3 more to the front. 1, 2, 3. And in the rear, we want to go 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great! Now we can fill all of this in. Once you have filled all of this in, it should look something like this. Now you just want to finish off the foundation with some triangular solid foundation. And a tip I think not a lot of people actually know of is that you can click Z to mirror the piece. Which, instead of it looking like this, you see the planks are going in the opposite direction, you can actually mirror it to look like this. Which is very helpful. So let's go ahead and place you right there. And then let's go place these right here. There you go. That is your foundation complete. It should look something like this. So, we have the shape of our boat. Now it's time to start building the first layer. First, let's go to the rear. Let's place one wall at the end like that, and a triangular solid wooden wall on both sides like this. Now we want to come to either of the side. It's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter. And we will place walls all along the edge of this 7 block stretch. Stretch? Okay. Now let's do the same on the other side. 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. And on the front end, which was shorter, we also want to place blocks that go all the way up until this front area. Now, for the rear, we want to come to this area, and we want to place a solid half wall like this on both sides. It should look something a little bit like this. Okay, so now we are actually ready to start placing the roofs. Yes, we are going to use roofs to make it look slanted like a boat. So basically the rest of this layer is just filling in with roofs. So let's go do that. Oh, also I forgot. On the front you also want to place these half walls like that. And first layer is complete, and it should look something like this. Okay, now the second layer is actually very easy to do. So if we just go right over here to the front, which is the shorter side of the ship, we will place a window right on this corner right there and right there. Now we want to have a window every other block, meaning we have one window here, then we leave a block, and then we place one right there. And we want to have a total of 6 windows. So now we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it should stop right here at the ramp. Let's do the same thing for the other side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And indeed it stops right at the ramp. Now if we come to the front, this is the only roof pieces we are going to place on this layer. Right between the first 2 windows, we will place one roof piece like that. And then the very first window we placed, we want to block half of it like this. And let's go do the same on the other side. Piece in between the windows, and then we block half of the window. This is so that when we see it from the side, it will still look like a hole where you can shoot the cannon through, but it's also gonna help with the shape of the boat. Okay, now we can just go and fill in the rest of the shape. Great, now we've filled in most of the shape. If you were smart or are just a little bit in front, you probably already have placed these pieces as well. And if not, it's no worries, just place them right now like that. Now it should look something a little bit like this. So if we come to the back of the ship, which is the longest part, we place poles right there and right there. So first one from the wall, and then with the space in between, like that. Perfect. Let's go to the other side, where we want to do the same thing. Well, almost the same thing. We place one from the wall like this, but then we want to place 2 more directly next to them, so they kind of square in this tile right here. Right, now from this we just want to place every other pole like this. And it should look something like this, where they meet again to square in this piece right there, this tile right here. Now let's go back again, and all of them are placed. Right, so now with that done, we want to place some stairs. First of all, you're gonna have to place 1 stair here and 1 stair here. Now what I am starting to build here is some sort of a room division for the interior, but it is ultimately up to you how you want it. Now the next few stairs you are going to want to build is also going to be right here. Sorry, right here. Like that. So you have big stair there, and then 2 small stairs right here. Now we want to build walls around these stairs. So come to the front right here, and we're gonna build 2 up like that. Same on the other side. Then on the other side of the stairs, you also want to build 2 up, and build 2 up, just like that. Now, in the middle here, you want to fill back like that. And here you want to fill in the front. Same on the other side, fill in the front, just like that. Okay, now we come to the big stairs. And we're gonna want to go 1, 2, and 3 up like this. Same on the other side. 1, 2, and 3 up like that. Okay, that should be good for now. We are also going to be placing some floors up here. So, you can start by going across like this, right behind the big stairs. Then you can again go for another row. And again, one more row, like this. And also fill in this last spot right here. Okay, good. Now we got that going. We also want to place one right here, because there is going to be a stair going up. And to accommodate that, we're also going to be placing walls around here, like so. Okay, that may have been many steps, but if you take a good look, this angle right here should be pretty explanatory. It is mirrored on both sides, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, if you are wondering if there are walls behind the stairs, that is up to you. I choose not to, so I can also have storage in here if I choose to do that, or something else. Okay, cool. Now we should do the third row of, well, buildings. For this, I'm going to start using a bit more no-clip to build, as it's easier. But in survival, you could just build out like so, and build from over here instead. For example, if I'm building a wall right here, you can do it from the outside. So, the third layer is also very simple. Now, what we want to do is very simply fill in basically the entire row, and the only place where we use roof pieces are in the front right here. Basically exactly the same as on the first layer in the front. Also, we should place these triangular pieces right on the corners like that. Very nice, it's already taking shape as a boat. Now, we are going to come to the front right here, and we're going to place walls on either side like that. Now is the important part. We are going to have windows on every other block, like down here, but we are going to have it on the opposite blocks. So, to give an easier example, here we have a row of windows on the second layer. Now on the third layer, we would have it, I think it's called perpendicular, like this. So you kind of make a checkered pattern. After you've placed those first walls, from the front, right here, and make your way all the way back and then stop right when you come to the last window right there. Okay, so once we've filled in the windows on this side, let's copy that over to the other side. And now the rest you can just fill in with normal half walls. Now is where it might start to get a little bit complicated, but I think you should be able to follow quite nicely. What I am going to do now is I'm going to fill in what will become the lowest deck in this general area. You're going to start by these windows right here. To make these easier to build, you can also extend your pillars by a half pillar like so on these 4 pillars. Okay, now we are ready and we can just fill in the floor just like this. Now when it comes to the stairs, you want to leave a gap for the stairs right there and on the other side, and also a gap right here. Now while you're at it, you might as well place this stair just like that. Okay, now let's go fill in the rest. There you go. That's the first deck complete, and if you want, like me, I'm already going to place the fence on this deck. Very easy. It goes from, well, this is the front of the ship. It goes from this window and back to this wall. Okay, now that the moon is up, it's a little bit easier to see what I'm actually doing on the ship. Now, let's go place the fence on the other side as well. Just like that. For this front section of the ship, which we might as well do when dolphins have stopped splashing in the water, we are going to extend this wall a little bit. So for that, you can choose whether to use a plank, but I like to use half planks like this to have more control. And extend it out to blocks like that. And then use a half block to finish it off right before it goes into this triangle that goes up to the roof pieces like that. So let's go copy this to the other side. Okay, cool. Now let's get our roof pieces out. Let's place 2 like that. Same on the other side. And then 1 on the front. Basically just extending what we built on layer 3. Now we also want to build a section like that on the side pods right here. So build 2 roof pieces that stick out like that. Now let's copy that on the other side. And there we have it. Should look something like this. Now it's simply just filling into these with these triangle pieces, and those dolphins really don't want to stop making noise, do they? But yeah, just fill in with these triangle pieces, like so. And do the same back here. Alright, now that we've completed that part, we can also build the wall back by 2 blocks till we reach the fence, like so. Now we're going to be filling in some of this front portion right here. And as you can see, it's very difficult to fill in these gaps, and it's even not letting us place blocks on quite a few of these. Yes, very attention-seeking today, aren't you? Basically, we want to go back to here and build a platform out like so. Now what are we gonna do with the pieces that we can't place? Well, for this, we're going to have to extend our poles. So I'm gonna extend the back or the front for these poles by a whole big pole. Now what I'm gonna do is build 2 more pieces like this, and also a piece right there. And then I'm going to take a triangle off of this, and then another triangle off of that, in order to place these 2 pieces, like so. Yes, maybe it's not quite up to the taste to have these stripes in your floor, and in that case you might as well just use pillars like this. Yeah, you can use them from down here, but that is going to show on the outside, so that's something you have to be wary of. Now for the front corners, you can already fill them in, like so. And for this final piece right here, we're going to have to do a little bit of magic. Not really. Just place a piece right here and another 2 pillars on it, or half walls, whatever you want to call them. And then we can place our final piece of flooring. Okay, let's also not forget to fill in these corners right here. Just like that. And also, let's go fill these 2 right here. Okay, now it's time to do some walling right from the front here. So, let's go up by only 1 and go in 2 from both sides, like this. Now we're gonna have to extend these pillars, but only by a half, like that, a half pillar. Okay, let's now build some more flooring, like this. And it should look something a little bit like this. Now, for the middle here, we are going to want to have a door there. And for this, we can just place it in already. So now, how are we going to kind of conceal this door? Because it's only 1 block, or it's 2 blocks tall in a 1 block area. Well, first of all, I'm actually going to be placing roof pieces right here on top of those 2 blocks we built in, and then a half wall on top like that. And as you can see, it does match in quite nicely. Now let's also fill in on both sides like so. And it should look something a little bit like that. Now, I realize I've built these one too far in. Apologies for that. We're gonna want to shove everything back by one block like that. And let's just fill in these floors. And then I'm gonna place the staircase back right there. Okay, let's now also place the stairs that are supposed to go up right here. And I'm going to place walls on the inside right here. But actually I think it would look nicer without, so I'm gonna remove them again. And on the outside, we do want those walls. Just like this. I'm also going to be placing one more floor in here. And then a roof, no, a wall on top of that, like so. I'm going to also fill in the sides. And then fill in the top with some planks. And that should be it for the front part. Now let's just fence it off. And there you go. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, very good. So now we are coming to the side right here, and let's get our half walls out again. Now let's go back by 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3, just like that. And then let's go over to the other side and copy that. 1, 2, 3, just like so. Okay. Now let's come to the inside right here and just follow the floors with your walls. Just like that. Okay, looks good. Now you could probably guess that there are going to be staircases right here. Alright, that looks very good. Let's also start filling in some of the flooring right here. At least as much as we can. Okay, this is starting to come together pretty nicely. So, this is actually also the level where there is a balcony on the back here. So let's go and fix that right now. So we're just going to come to the back here, and we're going to go 1 like that. 1, 2, 3 at the back, and then let's also place 1 on this side. For this corner, you can actually also place 1, like so. And same for this corner, like that, because there is going to be flooring on the inside, and it will make sense later. Now, to fill in these gaps right here, we're going to get a half floor, like that. And same on the other side. Now for a final piece, let's just corner off this, like so. And same on this side, like so. Okay, that looks good. Now, let's fill in some walls, shall we? So, let's come 1 to the right of this half wall, or if you're on this side, 1 to the left, and let's place a wall, like so. I'm going to do that on both sides. Now, we're gonna want to have a diagonal wall like this, and same on this side, and then just fill in 3 walls at the back like so. Okay, now we want to come to this particular side of the ship, the starboard, the right side of the ship, and we're gonna place a wall here. Now for the bobbard, or the left side of the ship, we're gonna have a door going out like so. Okay, now let's just fill this with fence. Just like so. I actually do realize now that this is 1 further out, my mistake. So we're just gonna bring it 1 further out, like that, and same on the other side. It is of course preference, but I think it does look better with it back here. Like so. And that means let's also place another wall. right there, and also next to the door. Okay, good. That looks nice. Alright, so for now we're just going to continue building on the walls. So first thing you want to do is you want to come to this section of 3 right here, and towards the back you want to build up 2, like so. And then right next to it you want to build up 3, like so. Now let's do the same on the other side. We find a section of 3, we build up by 2, and then we build up by 3. Alright, now let's connect these 2 pillars we kind of just built with a half wall, like so. Okay, let's place it on the other side. There you go. And it should look something a little bit like this. Alright, so now we're gonna start building the entrance to the captain's quarters. So first, we do want to extend this floor, and as you can see I cannot build right here. So for that, we are going to go in here and build a pillar right there and right there, just like that. Now, if we go back up, we should be easily able to fill in this flooring, just like so. And it should be 3 in depth, or 3 deep, like so. So let's also fill in this area right here. Now I'm gonna build one more over. This is not going to be shown on the outside. This is purely to place a big staircase, like so, and like so. Okay, if you've done that, it should look something a little bit like this. And now let's build the actual entrance to the cabin's quarters. So first things first, I am going to use a tall wall, and I'm going to place it right here. And same on the other side. Now we want to have the door in the middle, so I'm just going to place a wall right here and a wall right there. Now you can choose to use the same walls as you've used everywhere else, the half walls. But for this instance, I think it's alright to use the tall walls like this. And go ahead and place the door in the middle just like that. If you do want to decorate with lanterns, you can do that. I will do that towards the end. Okay, hopefully you can see enough as to what I'm doing when I'm working down here. The moon doesn't really shine down here, so it's hard to see anyway. Just gonna try my best. So, right here, we're having these 4 pillars. Now, I'm just gonna break them down, and I'm gonna make the 4 pillars into 4 2x1s pillars, if that makes sense, like 8 small pillars like this, stacked on top of each other. Now, it's the same height as one normal pillar, right here, but what this will allow us is to actually create a deck in here, like so. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in. There you go. And I'm also going to place small poles right there. And right here to get that floor sorted and this floor sorted. And then we can just place you in the corner, and we can place you in the corner there. So now we have a deck in here. And now what we want to do is extend these pillars yet again. And we're going to make another deck on top of that. But before we do that, let's actually place some stairs in these spots right here. That would be right next to those other stairs we had down here. Okay, good. Now, we also gonna want to have some small pillars on top of this crate, this box, whatever you want to call it. And finally, we're gonna place some walls right back here. And also on top of those other walls right there. So in the end, it should look something a little bit like this. Now, once we have made all of those, we can start filling in the deck like I said we would. Okay, I have filled in until where it kind of meets this area right here. And there is also where we're going to be placing our walls, like so. Now, we won't really be seeing this from this side, but we will from this side. That doesn't really matter, I just wanted to tell you. Now what we're gonna do is place a wall here and here in the cabins area, in the captain's quarters, and we're gonna place one wall in the middle like so. Also, let's place a wall there and a wall there. Nice. Let's now fill in this T area we have created. And let's place some small stairs that go down like so, like so. Now let's also place a fence that goes around like that. Okay, now we have the start of our cabin, captain's quarters. Okay, let's build up the walls a bit, shall we? First thing we want to do is grab our windows, and then on the opposite side of the room to the door, let's place one window. Then let's come to the rear right here and place 1, 2, 3 windows, like that. The rest of this layer we can just fill in with normal walls. Just like so. Okay, now finally, for this top layer right here, we are going to select our roof tiles, and we're going to expand our roof on these 3 back walls, like so, and also on this side piece on both sides, like that. Now let's extend this with a triangle piece, a half wall piece, like so, and the rest could just be filled in with normal walls. Okay, great. That's our captain's quarters. So, one thing I actually forgot to do is we can come all the way to the front of the ship, and let's break this fence that I've placed over here, and let's go down all the way to sea level and place 1, 2, 3, 4 foundations just like that. Actually, we're gonna need 5 foundations. Then let's place our pillar at the very end. 2 on top of each other should do. And let's build this front area out by 1, 2, 3 tiles, like so. And it should look something a little bit like this. Now once we've done that, you should craft some pipes, which should be right here. I'm going to use the fuel pipes. You can use water pipes as well, but they are very blue, which is not to my liking. So, I'm going to craft a total of 6. And place 1, 2, 3, 4. And you could place another 5th one right there. That is up to you to decide. I will. Now, just destroy this platform right here, this platform right here, and all the rest of the platforms as well. And there you go. Front of the ship is looking very nice. Okay, let's now build some fencing around this area right here, so that the captain can feel safe right outside of his quarters. That should probably do. Now we have a final deck area up here, and let's start by filling it in as much as we can. Alright, that is actually about as much as we can fill it in. So, let's get our poles, and let's place poles right here. Sorry, not right there. But on top of these right there, and also right there, and half ones right there. Cool. That should allow us to fill in this area right here. Now we still have this small area back here to fill in. For that I'm going to use these small poles and just place them right there. They won't be as noticeable. Okay, let's go fill the rest of this in. Like so. And that part should be complete. On the inside, it should now look something a little bit like this. Alright, now that we've done that, we're approaching some final things we need to do before we're almost finished with the boat. It's starting to look very nice. So, first thing we're going to do for this upper deck area is we are going to be placing a triangle, a half wall right here, and same on the other side right there. Then we are going to be placing 1, 2, 3 fences like that. Same on the other side. 1, 2, 3 fences like that. Then let's get our walls out. And let's finish off this layer with walls. Just like so. Alright, looks good. Now, let's continue by filling this with walls. So we kind of barrier off right at the edge here. So let's do that. Wall right here, 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 and there. Looking good. So, before we go any further, I also want to place some fences right here on top, so it looks like that. Also, it just became night, so I'm going to wait a little bit for the moon to get to come up, so it gets brighter. There you go. With some more moonlight, it's looking quite nice and bright, so it's easy to see what I'm doing. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in this area at the back here. Just like so. There you go. Now let's get our half walls out again. Place one right here and one directly opposite to that. Then we're going to get our walls out and we're going to place them right here, 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 and here. Alright, so now for the last part, for the walls, let's place one wall right here. And let's finish off with half walls on either side like that. Now let's place our stairs for getting up there. I'm going to place mine right here and right there. You can choose how you want to place yours. And finally, let's just add the steering wheel right here. And that's the entire build. Okay, let me just go through, see that I haven't missed anything. Right, in here, for example, let's just wall this off like so. That looks alright. Okay, so our boat is looking very nice. Now it's time for the very complicated but also very fun part, getting the sails in. And it will make the ship look like a proper one, instead of just a shell of one. So, let's get right into that. Right, so now that we're going to place our sails, first let's get our ladder. And let's come to the front of the boat right here. And place our ladders facing towards the ocean like so. I mean, there's ocean everywhere, but towards the front like so. And let's make it too tall. This is so that you can actually climb up here, just like so, without a problem. Okay, cool. Now let's place one pillar on this side and one pillar on the other side, just like that. Okay, now we're gonna get our floors, place one on this side and one on that side. And then grab our sails and put one in between here and one in between there. And we have our first two sails. Cool. Now let's go to the top right here. And as you can see, there's a spot where when I want to place it, it disappears right here. So let's follow that and go to the left until we reach a spot where it becomes red. That is the sweet spot where you want to place the sail like so. Let's do the same on the other side. Let's go to here. Here it disappears. Okay, here it's red. There it's green. That's the sweet spot. Just like that. Okay, we have our first 4 sails placed. Let's now rotate them forwards, just like so. And let's do the same with these up here. We're going to worry about the exact rotation of the sails in a moment once we've placed all of them. There you go. All right. Now, let's go ahead and let's place a pillar right there and a pillar right here. And then we're going to place 3 floors on top of these pillars. 1, 2, 3, like such. Okay, cool. Now let's place our sails right around this spot, like so. Try to place them as forward as possible as well, like that. And then on the other side, like that. Very good. Okay. And if you do want to get up here, which you probably do, you can also place ladders on both of the sides, like so. And let's also place, sorry, first we actually have to rotate these. The hitboxes actually rotate with the sails, which is both annoying, but also very good when you're building, because you can kind of cheat stuff in. Well, it's not really cheating, but it feels kind of that way. And there you go. And let's just place one block. Sorry, we also need a pillar next to it. Up here. Now this is not for a mast, so if you want to, you can just remove the ladder, so it doesn't actually give the what should I say, the impression that it's a mast. It's just supposed to be there, so you can place a flag on top, like I'm going to do right now. Just like that. Okay. Now let's move on to the middle sail part. So for this part I actually forgot to record, but I will build it again so you guys can see what we actually need to do. And we even have a miracle here, because that is clearly floating, but no one cares. Now it's not. Okay, so what do you want to do? Well, you want to first of all come to this block right here, and this is where you want to start placing our ladder. Now, we're going to place the ladder this time facing that direction. You know what? Actually, no. Let's have it facing this direction, still the same, towards the front. So let's place 2 ladders on top of each other, and also 2 pillars on top of each other. Then let's place 1 platform right there, and another right there. Sorry, these actually have to be there and there. And then let's go up here and let's build platforms right there. And then let's keep the ladder going. We're gonna have a platform. Yeah, no, this is why we should have had the ladders the other way. I'm gonna fix that in a second. Then we're gonna have a platform right there. So let's turn the ladders around the other way. Well, we still can. There you go. Yep, so the ladders are this way right here. Let's now continue the ladders. 2 more up. Let's place 2 more pillars. And let's create our first mast. Right up here like so. And let's place our flag there. Okay, nice. Now let's place in our sails. By the way, if you didn't catch that, it should look something like this. 2 on this side, 2 on that side, 1 above, and then the mast. Now for the sails, let's first of all come in between here. And let's place 1 there. And let's place 1 there. Okay, good. Now for the second layer, we're just going to want to come right here to the green. And just right in this top left corner of the green, let's place it there. On the other side, let's do the same thing. But I think we are actually standing in the way for this. I think we were, yes. So let's come right in this top corner right here. Place it there. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate, of course. It can be like right there is fine. Now let's come up to this area, but for to be able to place the sails here, we might have to rotate the sails. Yes, I believe. So let's do that. Okay, now let's see if we can place. Yep, right there. Now, if you do have it rotated this way, and you feel like, oh, I can't place it, there's no room to place it, well, rotate it, and suddenly it's green. Don't ask me how this works. For this, we're going to place it in the middle of the board right there. Same here, place it in the middle-ish right there. Cool. Now, finally, we want to place a sail up here. But for that, again, we're going to have to rotate these, but we're going to have to rotate them away. So let's just climb up here. Sometimes this happens, right? The sails come in the way of you climbing, and in that case, just make a little jump out. Oh, I can demonstrate, but yeah, like this. You just make a little jump out, and you can kind of climb back up. So for this, let's just... Okay, it's hard to rotate from up here, so let's go down. It's hard to rotate from anywhere, apparently. Let's rotate them outwards, like this. And same on this side. Oh. Oh, God. Sometimes it's difficult, guys. Rotate outwards, like so. Yep. That was maybe hard to see, but what I did is I rotated these two sails outwards. So I'd be able to place a sail right here. So I'm going to place one. Right there. And then one on the opposite side right there. Cool, that's all the sails for that mast. And now we're going to copy the exact same mast, just one further back. Okay, so we've just built the ladder 3 high, which is not 4 high like I just did. And let's place the platforms right there on the first layer, there on the second layer, and there on the third. So it should look something a little bit like that. Now, let's make it double high, like so. And this is actually the correct height this time. And there you go. So that's more like it. Now it should be time to place the sails. Again, let's come down to the bottom right here. Place them in between there. Our next sails, let's place them right around there. And around there. Now we're gonna have to rotate the sails. That was wrong direction. Now we're gonna have to rotate the sails up here in order to place the others. Can I place? There you go. So I'm just gonna rotate them forwards, and this is more difficult than you think. It's very finicky, very, yeah, sometimes time consuming when you first do it. And again, you can't place them like this, but you can like this. Let's place the right around there. And if this doesn't work, rotate it 180 degrees, and there you go. Just like so. And now for the final two, we're gonna have to rotate these. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, that's in the way. That's actually an issue. There you go. So this is actually the hitbox. This is why you can't place some things. It's because of the bar. The actual bar on the sails is a hitbox. Which is annoying, yeah. But you'll learn to deal with it. So we're going to rotate this out like so. And the same with this, like so actually. I almost rotated that the wrong way. And let's place our final two sails on here. And on there. Okay! Now we're gonna do a very time-consuming and annoying part of... First of all, I'm just gonna paint the sails. I don't know why that's my priority right now. but it is. So let's just paint the sails. There you go. And as well for this, I'm gonna use red and white. You don't really see that it's red and white anyway, but I'm gonna use it. And also I forgot the final mast, which we will do, sure, we'll do it right now. So for this last one, we're just gonna keep it very simple. We're first gonna place a ladder right here, and we're gonna place pillars next to it, first of all, and then a platform right here. We're gonna extend the pillars, 2 more up, and then place a platform right there to have our flag on, like so. Let's also place a flag back here, because that looks pretty... There you go. Okay, and for that, we're also gonna need 3 more sails. There you go. That's flags. There you go. Okay, we don't need 3 more flags. So for that, we're also gonna need 3 more sails. So let's come here. And actually, you only need 2. Sorry, that was misleading. But yeah, the first one is gonna be set up right on here, if I may. Right, let's just do this then instead. So, since that wasn't working, let's do this instead. And let's not be able to place sails. What is going on? Alright, let's try rotating it. That did help. Okay. Let's go just like that. And then the same on the other side. Just like that. Okay. Let's finally get back to actually painting these sails. And now let's open all of the sails, which you actually do have to do by hand, even in creative. Okay, open, open, and I might as well, since I'm up here, already rotate them. So, you want to rotate them forwards, like so, and then you just want to check, okay, they, as you can see, they are overlapping each other like this. We don't want that. So I'm gonna get them a little more in like this. This one as well, a little more in like that. And I think that's looking better. Maybe a little too much even. So yeah, it's really just about finding the balance. Let's see, right about there. Is that good? Yeah, that looks about right. So it's really just about finding it, and it helps if you're on survival, having a friend like standing up here, looking, kind of guiding you, what you should or shouldn't do. But yeah, it's just finicky and a long process, so... I guess good luck or something. It is very annoying, to be quite honest, but... There you go. That's not going to be rotated enough, but... You can kind of tell by the crossbar right here if it's rotated enough or not. Now this should be rotated about right, so let's just rotate this a little more. Apparently it wasn't rotated enough. But now it kind of is. Let's do a little bit more. Same on this side. And there you go, that should be about good. Once you've done it a few times, you also get used to it, like right around where you do want to have the sails rotated. But yeah, this is basically a whole process. I'm not going to bore you with showing the whole thing. So just go around and do this for all of your sails. And I'll be right back once I've done that. Alright, so I have finished doing all of the sails, and it does look quite magnificent. Now from behind, or from the side, it doesn't actually look too bad, as you would expect it to look really blocky, but it does actually look fine, even with all of the blocks in there. Now it is about time to paint everything, and that is basically, for my part, just to paint everything black and then have a red stripe going through the third layer with some altercation here and there. Now I'm just quickly going to go and do that, and you can paint it however you'd like. So I'll see you then. Alright, so we have a coat of paint on it now, and it does look quite interesting, doesn't it? It changes it completely. Now there are a few final touches that need to be done on the ship, but first of all I wanted to tell you that the interior might not be as realistic in terms of, for example, there's a staircase right here where there's a hole for a cannon, which obviously there can't be a cannon there, and also here there's like 3 levels up to the cannons, so you can't really reach them, and all of that, but it does look good from the outside, so who really cares? But there are a few final things which are needed to be addressed. And the first thing is, there's actually an emblem at the front here, which I am going to make, but it's difficult to... how should I say this? It might not look like a typical emblem from a pirate ship, but I'm not really going to commentate on what I'm doing. You can really just see what I'm doing, and if you do want to recreate it, feel free to do so. I mean, there's nothing really exciting going on here. It's just like that, and then there's a fence on both of these. And then there is a cabin and a chest. The cabin goes right there. And the chest goes right here up under there. Like so. And I'm just gonna paint all of this black. Except for that piece that should be red. And I painted it black again. Okay, I can't see anything now, so I'm just clicking and hoping that I'm painting things. Alright, there you go. It's hard to see now in the dark, but it's kind of a emblem in front here. But now it's actually time for... well, first let's actually get some lights, some metal lanterns. I'm gonna take 25 of them, and I mean, it's just basically just placing them around on the ship. So, just like that. Yeah, that's alright. Let's just place some lamps over here. Just like that. Maybe a lamp could be, I guess, right there. And also right there. Okay, good. And finally, there's one more thing to do. And it's also a little bit time consuming, maybe a little bit more fun, depends how you look at it. I need to find it first. Zipline. So there are a few places that you do want to place these ziplines. One of them is right here on a pole. Right there. I'm gonna push it a little bit to the side, because I know where the ropes will actually be going here. And under some of these you want to place zipline connectors, just like this and that. And most of these you want to place them quite far out on the corner, like so, so they can reach as many places as possible. For example, these cannot be connected from this side, but maybe I think no. Okay, never mind. It's weird because they try to kind of meet in between here. And what is annoying is, say this one didn't connect, but the other one did. You actually have to destroy them to restore the connection. And also, these stairs right here, both on top and at the bottom, are very prime locations for having these connectors. And I'll also have some right here and right here, and some more. I'm gonna have one right here, right there, and right there, and just have fun. I mean, just go crazy with the ropes, really. Usually, the more the better. I say usually because there are exceptions to the more the better rule. But for this, it's gonna work quite fine. I'm just gonna connect it to everything I can, as you see. That doesn't work, but maybe the other way. Sometimes that happens. No. There you go. As you can see, this is very realistic, where it kind of splits up like so. Also, they usually have them in between masts, so I'm gonna try to get these connected as well. If this doesn't connect them, see, that's the problem, right? If this doesn't connect, that's kind of stupid to have it on the other side then. And you can't really, I mean, you can remove it, but yeah, I'm just gonna leave it, really. I did that sometimes on the other ship too. Now you're gonna notice it, but yeah. These maybe do crisscross. They do. And that's, again, because of these poles being in the way. And as you can see, it looks alright. I guess that's it, really. You don't need more ropes than that, so I'm just gonna leave it there, honestly. It looks alright. And yeah, that's the ship. That's how it goes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I did enjoy building this for a second time. If you do want some more survival-friendly tutorials, and by that I mean smaller ships that are easy to obtain resources for in survival, unlike this, then be sure to let me know, because I will do more of these if this really goes well. So yeah, I hope to see you again, and goodbye.